was all that about? I've never seen carnage like it. Handbrake on the way in, look at that! Rock! Oh my god!
Good morning. Come on, pup. I can't do that anymore, mate. My knees are starting to go. Like 30 years old, I should be doing that shit. But yeah, round 2, 3 of Praga Cup. Race 3 anyway, here at Alton Park. I love this track. It is awesome and scary and requires you to be brave. And took a little bit of doing that yesterday, but yeah, excited. It's going to be really fun today. Weather, it seems, it's going to be okay. It's going to hold off the rain. Although saying that, literally 2 days ago I was karting for a charity event and it snowed my entire stint. So hoping for no snow. These things don't do too well with snow. So format today, qualifying and only one race, but they're ages apart. We have qualifying in like an hour or so. And then the race is at like 4:30 PM, so we're going to just be sort of vibing, doing nothing for about 4 hours. So yeah, Silverstone kind of sucked a little bit. We did get a podium out of it. We got a P3 in race 1, but race 2 obviously had the various spins of Jimmy Broadbent, like an album, I think. But yeah, feeling a lot more confident in this round. I had my sort of confidence knocked after Silverstone a little bit, so coming back yesterday, getting up to speed was really nice. And we're going to try to put that in a little box, go away, and now focus on those good results. In the championship, we currently sit in 5th, which is quite nice, and we're not too far behind P4 and P3. So good result here. We're easily going to move up, and if we have a really good result, we might end up sort of getting up into the top 1 or 2. So that's basically our goal. But with only having one race here, the result really needs to count. So got to be on it today. Yeah, post-bollocking, that's what we call it.
Do you know what though?
A couple of things that we didn't do right at Silverstone, and Andy was very very firm not to do those things again. One of the big things though was some teams, when they went up on the jack, kept the engine running, and he said if anyone does that this round, it's DNF straight away, DQ, out. So yeah, been really tight on it, but it's good. It's for a good reason.
So the suit apparently does quite a big in that session then, so everything will be delayed.
Get the suited, I'm going out first. Try and get a good time on the board, and we really need a good grip position round here. It's such a narrow circuit that if we get it wrong, we're in trouble. So yeah, a bit of pressure.
After yesterday, Jimmy was looking quick, I was looking quick, so I think at least we won silverware this weekend. But we need to see. We've got to get qualifying out of the way. Jimmy's out there qualifying at the moment, and we've only got the one race weekend, 1 hour race. A lot can happen in a one hour period, so hopefully we end up in a nice position at the end of it.
Good luck, man.
Maybe by quite a bit as well. I never put it in. Best lap up until now I think was a high 55. I did a 35, sorry 35.2, so I'm happy with that. Fucking tired though. So I had to get out. I got out of the car a bit early because there's a chance it might rain, so like only for a tiny spell. So we're going to put Boardy out now, make sure he's got a time on the board, because other people are coming in now, they get caught out, our average is going to be far higher than theirs. So to be honest, I wasn't going to go much faster, I don't think. Maybe could have got into the 34s, but I'm happy with that. I don't really care how everyone else did, I'm happy with my progress. So. So you might notice earlier on in the video that I'm wearing this very lovely 87 hoodie. And this is the first of our Team 87 merch finally existing and on me. It was meant to be here for round 1, but I'm disorganised, so it's here for round 2. Sorry. But yeah, I kind of realised that we announced the whole Team 87 thing and never really actually spoke about what it was. Again, because I'm disorganised, so sorry. But the sort of long and short of it really is that I've been very fortunate to get into racing and to race these real cars. And that's only really happened to me because of YouTube, you know, being a YouTuber and being able to shout the loudest, I suppose. So trying to think, oh, we'll have him come drive our car and talk about it. But for a lot of people, racing is properly out of reach. You know, it's so expensive. When I was outside of YouTube, not doing any of this stuff, it was you know, it was just not realistic to even think about racing. I mean, driving even in a Mazda for a year is probably going to cost you about 20 grand, which is obscene money for someone who's, you know, normal. So the whole idea of Team 87 is, first of all, to sort of be a home for all my real life racing, be a place where you can get some sweet merch, but also in the long term, be a place that we use to help bring other people into racing that maybe wouldn't have that opportunity. Haven't quite figured out how yet. I've got some ideas, but watch this space, I think, is what I'm trying to say. I think that we've got a really cool idea here, and motorsport is for everyone, and I want to try and actually make sure that people get to experience it and not get to stand by the sidelines. Right to title, left to Lucy. We're about to go let old gold to Lucy. No, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, race is coming up. We qualified 6th basically, so not so bad. Could be better, could be worse. And Gordy's starting the car, pro start this race, and it's going to be tricky here because it's really hard to overtake. Alton's a really narrow circuit, so it's going to have to be quite aggressive at the start, then it's up to me to bring the car home at the end. We had a little bit of snow just now, just normal British motorsport things apparently, but it should be fine for the race. I'm not really worried, but yeah, looking forward to it. This track's awesome. I mean, we've been standing around for the last like 4 hours. I want to drive now.
Will be a 1 hour race, mandatory pit stop. We're awaiting the cars to make their way to the grid. I can definitely only see 10 cars there. I think we're missing Ben Collins, unfortunately. Maybe that car had a problem in qualifying. Ah, there he is. He was just late out. He was just a bit late out of the assembly area. So all 11 of the Pragas out there then, ready for Praga Cup race 3 of the season. Third race of the season for the Praga Cup. Their first ever standalone season. Oh, who's that? Is that the 87 car just spun out there, coming out of Britain? Well, Gordy Much first he struggles off the grid, and now another car's come to a halt. Is that Collins again? No, it's not. It's the number 11 car, Shane Kelly. The safety car is into pit lane. Tommy Foster leads them up towards the lights, and we are underway. Trying to get through the middle there is the all-black car of Rob Weldon. There's a bit of rubbing there, and round goes the 28 car of Stefano Lini. He's going to go backwards, almost into the tar wall. See that again. Oh, and there's 2 more cars off. Yeah, Rob Weldon's one of them, and the other one, I think, was Scott Mittel in the 77.
So here's how that looked from Gordy's point of view. We're on board here, coming down the start-finish straight. Look in front, 3 wide just about. A little cloud of smoke there. Car goes off to the left into the barrier hard. Then the Raw car collects one of the Mattel cars into the inside. And just like that, Gordy goes from 6th on the grid up into 2nd. So very bad for those cars, good for us. And of course, the most important thing now I can say after the event, no one was in any way injured. Perhaps so a few bruised egos.
And there'll only be a couple of minutes before the pit window opens when we get going in, because it opens 20 minutes into the race, and we're currently 17 minutes into the race.
So this is not development. The safety car is still out, 41 minutes left in the race, which means that I might have to hop in the car now, well, very, very shortly anyway, so, and do most of the race. I hope that isn't the case, because Gordy's not had a chance to flex or do anything yet, but that might be the case. The barrier repair is taking a while after that T1 lick. Everyone's kind of confused right now, so we're just going to have to, yeah, keep an eye on things, I guess, and react.
To the pit window opening. Watch them all follow the safety car into the pits here. I can see that happening. Let's go. Let's wait and see what happens. Well, the safety car's into pit lane. One car going in. The rest of them will continue. So we are racing now. Let's hope they get round Old Hall this time. We're underway with the UK Praga Cup 2022 Race 3, and it looks like they've got round Old Hall okay this time. So now we can finally do some Praga racing. Tommy Foster leads from the 87 car of Gordy Much. They head down Lakeside for the first lap. Pulling away here from the 87 of Gordy Much. There he is in second place.
Straight away it was obvious that we did not have the pace of the lead car, and we suspect now that it was down to a poor setup choice, but it meant that Gordy, who we know is an absolute weapon, was losing about a second a lap to Tommy in front. It's also worth noting that 20 minutes of keeping the tyres warm under safety car had made Gordy feel quite ill, so the guy was a proper trooper to still perform the way he did.
Racing the what was the number 86 car at Silverstone here today, the Connor and Canning car. Leading by 4.7 seconds now over the 87 car of Gordy Much. But
despite struggling with the setup of the car, Gordy did a great job of keeping us in second place and within touching distance of the 53 in front, but we already knew by this point that it was likely going to be a fight for second place.
No, he's not. Oh, nearly. Podium may not be too happy there. It's happened to Alex Capadia. Bit of bodywork coming loose by look at. Oh, there it goes. Oh, mind the marshals. That was close, goodness. Okay, while we were talking to Scott there, all the top three are in the process of making their pit stops. Ben Collins, we saw, was in first, followed by Tommy Foster. He heads back out. Now the 87 car is about to leave. Has Jimmy Broadbent done enough to take the lead ahead of Miles Lacey? There he is. I think the 87 car has managed to undercut the 53 of Miles Lacey. Yes, he's done it. The 87 car into the lead.
I mean, unfortunately, I think Jimmy's gonna. It will end up in the video. We've been sat at Park Ferme. Our tyres are getting really cold. So I had a rather embarrassing moment where I spun on the rolling lap. That's a first for me, I think. But you know, even the pros make mistakes. But then went from P6 to P2 in one corner, which everything will be, you know, caught on video, pretty sure. So yeah, a bit of a chaotic one.
Here comes Miles Lacey. He's closing up on Broadbent in this battle of the YouTubers at the front of the field. Out of the Elite they come. As Broadbent continues to lead, we're down in the pits. Andy McEwen is with the man who's just handed the car to him, number 87, Gordy Much.
Gordy, you must have been right behind some of the shenanigans into that first corner. What did you see?
Oh man, I mean, I saw, like, it went 3 wide, and I thought, oh, this is going to be sketchy. I saw some tyre marks and kind of expected the guy to spin out to the left, and he did. And then from there, you know, the tyres were still quite cold.
So yeah, as you could see, I made a small mistake down at Cascades, which allowed Miles through, but to be honest, it was only a matter of time. Whilst I felt comfortable in the car and was, in my opinion, pushing on fairly well, Miles drove by me like I was standing still and then just pulled away down the straight. It really feels like we must be missing a beat with setup, because their car just looked faster everywhere. Of course, that isn't to take away from Miles and Tommy, but I was dumbfounded watching him drive off into the distance.
Jimmy Broadbent down to second, as we saw. Miles Lacey getting through on the previous lap, coming along Lakeside into Island Bend. Broadbent just ran wide on the exit of Cascades, and Miles Lacey now pulling away, 4.5 seconds clear. He was nearly 3 seconds quicker on that last lap. He's flying along out in front. This number 53 car set up very well indeed. There's the number 1 car, looking a bit sick with that rear bodywork missing. Look at the state of that. Miles Lacey leads by 9 seconds ahead of Jimmy Broadbent. 77 Charles Hall, 15 seconds further back in third. The number 1 car, incidentally, has come back into the pits. I wouldn't be surprised if that's been flagged in for running with half its rear bodywork missing. Well, looking at the classification at the moment, I have to admit I've no idea who's going to be leading the championship after this race.
As we started to get settled into the race, I was slowly being caught by the car in third and basically received a message over the radio from Gav, our long-suffering race engineer, that said, Jimmy, we need more. We need you to push, otherwise there is a chance these guys will get onto the back of you towards the end of the race. Now, one of the main things that I still struggle with the Praga is high-speed commitment. In the slow and medium speed, I pretty much match Gordy, but in the high speed where I have to trust in the downforce, I still have work to do. So in my head, I had 2 options: continue what I was doing now and risk losing second, or as my good friend Coyne would say, just wheel harder. It turns out the encouragement from Gav is exactly what I needed, as I set the second fastest amateur driver time for the race, which I'm pretty happy with. The gap to P3 stabilised and I started to relax a little bit, and I then got a message on the radio saying that P3 had made a mistake.
Oh, and that's the 77. I was just about to say the 77 could be leading the championship. I didn't get a chance to say it. It's gone straight on at Island End. Charles Hall is getting going again. 23 points for third place. So yes, Scott Mittel and Charles Hall. I think if they... Oh, what's happened there? Is that the lead? Black and red is the leading car. What's happened there? Yes, it was. What's happened to Miles Lacey? We'll try and get a replay on that if we can. He got sideways. He didn't actually spin. He must have got a wheel onto the curb, got sideways coming out of Old Hall. Something comes off the underneath of the car. Will that affect its handling? But luckily, Miles Lacey has kept it going to the finish.
Well, it's all kicking off. Is he going to pit? No. So, well, we were getting caught from P3. P3 went off, and then P1s went off in front of us, and their doors come off.
What?
P1 is still going. They haven't been black or orange. If they get black and orange though, we will be the winners. But we'll just need to wait and see. Right now we're still sat P2. We're pretty solid for P2 at the moment.
Well, we're into our final lap now on this extraordinary Praga Cup event. There's our leader, Miles Lacey, and Tommy Foster started from pole position. Apart from a short period during the pit stops when the 87 car took over, they've led pretty much all the way. And it really has been a case of keeping their heads while all around them are seemingly losing theirs. Oh, nearly threw it away there. First standalone race at Alton Park. Here comes the 53 car, run by Idola Motorsports. The win goes to Tommy Foster and Miles Lacey. Well, how do you sum up a race like that? Broadbent comes home in second, 8.5 seconds in arrears.
So by the virtue of staying out of trouble and just running a consistent race, we came home in P2, and whilst of course it wasn't a win, it felt like a win. With a setup that seemed to be really lacking any kind of pace, P2 felt like a proper achievement.
Awesome job, mate. Well done, dude. That's the best result we could have had today. Great job, dude. Lovely.
And Jimmy Broadbent. Miles Lacey and Tommy Foster.
Where's Harry? Harry.
Cheers, bud.
Harry, come on.
Certified technique.
Look at that. P2. I genuinely thought we weren't going to be getting a podium this weekend. We didn't have the pace in the car for some reason, but everyone decided to very kindly leave the circuit for us at T1 on that, and then doubted a lot, and then in the end, the guy trying to catch me, spun trying to catch me, so I was going quick enough, I suppose. Almost could have win if Miles's door, because Miles's door fell off. The leader's door fell off like halfway through the race, so there was a door just sitting on the exit of Old Hall for like most of the race. It was insane, but this feels good. I don't know. I thought we'd be disappointed with P2, given we ended last season with a high, but after Silverstone, this feels like a return to form. So we're happy with this. Double hat. So yeah, P2 in the end. I am super happy with that, and this feels like actual a result for all the work we did over the winter, sort of getting this car together. You know, of course, having such massive names as Fanatec, Sim Racing GP, join the Jimmy Broadbent community today. Sparko and all the other guys there, RA as well, 29 Hype, RAG. It's been amazing to actually like pay them back with something now. With what was an extremely eventful race. It's kind of a shame that that's how it happened, but at the same time, you've got to be in it to win it. We were there at the end. Gordy avoided all the drama. I didn't have any issues out of my stint. The guy behind me spun, so I didn't do that. So we got second place. So I think that it feels like it's on merit. So I'm happy with that. And next round, Snetterton. Remember what happened there last time? It fucking rained big time. It did. So I'm kind of hoping this time maybe not so much rain. But second place. That's going to really boost us in the championship too, because the current leaders DNF'd in that race, and Tommy and Miles, although they won this race, didn't finish in the other races at all. So they'll probably be maybe third or second now, maybe in the championship. So yeah, could boost that, and we're back.